Hey guys, I hope that your first week at Tier 1 is going well. Sorry again that I'm not available today to Zoom with you guys, so I just want to send you this quick video to kind of go over point of view with you a little bit. Point of view, at least first person, second person, and third person, which is what we're focusing on today, should be a pretty major review for you. You should have learned it in anywhere from like second, third, fourth, and fifth grade. The different types of third person you will learn later in the year with Mrs. Reedy in her class. But for now, we're just going to focus on first, second, or third. So at this point, you should have already completed your discussion with the cartoon and answering the discussion questions, and you should have already watched the YouTube video on point of view. So we're going to go over the PowerPoint, and then you will have an ed puzzle to complete, and then a point of view practice to complete. So I'm going to start with talking about what point of view is. Point of view is the way that the author writes a story, and the author gets to decide exactly what you see, hear, and sort of understand about the story, depending on which point of view they use. So there are 5 different types of point of view. Again, this should be a review. There's first, second, and third, but there's 3 different types of third. We're just going to talk about third person today in general terms. Not getting into the different types of third person, okay? When we talk about first, second, and third person, first person and third person are definitely going to be more commonly found in literature or in text. Second person is not found very often. There's a lot of reasons for that. The main reason is it's a really hard point of view to maintain for a long period of time. So as they mentioned in the video, that like the choose your own adventure books, things like that, there are a few examples of second person text that exist. But when you're asked to do second person for longer periods of time or over a span of several chapters or into a book, it is a difficult point of view to maintain. So we're going to start with first person. First person uses these pronouns: I, me, my, we, us, and again, our would be another one. We've been talking about pronouns for a while, and even during our pronoun unit, we had talked about pronoun antecedent agreement. And so these terms should not be, again, new to you. They should be something that is a review. When something is written in first person, it's important to note that the narrator is a character in the story. So if you're writing a story about including yourself, you're going to be considered a character. The point of view is not considered always reliable, and that's because it's really just one side of the story. So if there was something that were to happen in school, like an incident, and I only asked one student to tell me what happened, that would be their perspective or their point of view. That wouldn't necessarily be reliable. I should ask the other person about what their experience was, and maybe other bystanders or other people that may have witnessed it, in order to get the full picture. Okay, so when we look at something or read something from a first person point of view, we would not consider that point of view always reliable. The reader in first person point of view only knows what the narrator's willing to tell me. Okay, so I only know their own thoughts, feelings, and actions. I'm not understanding or knowing any other character's thoughts, feelings, or actions. Some examples of first person point of view. I always look forward to my summer vacation at the beach. I like to collect seashells and swim in the ocean. So you'll see the pronouns I in here multiple times, which would indicate first person. We love walking the dogs in the woods. We all think it is so much fun. Okay, we is also a first person pronoun. If it was up to me, I would choose the white car. So me is first person and I is first person. And we didn't want to drive, so we took the train to the city and back home. So we, like twice here, again, are first person pronouns. In second person pronouns, you're going to see, in second person point of view, you're going to see pronouns like you and yours. And in this point of view, the narrator is going to talk specifically to you, okay? Their intention is to make you feel like you're the only one in the room. If you've ever watched like a motivational speech or an advertisement where they're trying to sell you something specific, they will often say things like, you can do it. Like, we all know that you need this certain pan for your kitchen, or, all you need to do is work a little harder and you can succeed. Okay, so they want you to feel like they are speaking directly to you, which is why it's used in persuasive writing and in advertisements. In second person point of view, the narrator is not a part of the story. Okay, they are outside of the story. It's rarely used, as we talked about before, and it's really good in persuasive writing. Some examples would be, I'm not going to read them all to you. I'll just read like 2 of them. In just a few simple steps, you can make a big change in your life. So you and your are second person pronouns. And to make a great chili, you must season it early and often. So again, you would be a second person pronoun. Second person is also used in things like recipes or manuals to like make something. So if you've ever ordered maybe a piece of furniture that has to be assembled, sometimes the manuals are written in second person to sort of walk you through it. So third person point of view is going to use these types of pronouns: he, she, they, them, their, her, him, his. In third person, the narrator also is not a character in the story. The reader only knows what the author wants to reveal. So the author gets to decide how much you know. Okay, you can either be in one of the characters' minds or all of the characters' minds. That will come back down to the different types of third person, which again, we're not going to get into today. But typically, I would say most people write from where you can be sort of in all the characters' minds. So you see all of their thoughts and feelings. So you get a complete picture. This point of view is considered generally reliable, and that is because you tend to get more of a complete picture as opposed to sort of a single lens in first person. Some examples, again, I'm not going to read them all. I'll start with the second one. It says, Amy was looking forward to girls' night out, but the others in her group of friends were secretly hoping that the monthly outing would get canceled. Okay, so you have her here as an indicator. Also, names can be an indicator. So if I were to give you a sentence that didn't have any pronouns, like I said, Amy and Lindsay went to the mall, and I asked what point of view that was written in, it would be third person, because if I were to replace the words Amy and Lindsay with a pronoun, they would be using like she and her and things of that nature. So, or they, both of which or all of which are third person pronouns. Okay, so if you come across a sentence that doesn't have pronouns, you would look at just like the nouns, and it would come out to be third person. This is a table of just the different types of pronouns that's broken down for you, okay, just as a reference. And we're going to go through a couple examples together. So the first one says, I was nervous when it was my turn in the spelling bee. Okay, so the pronouns in the sentence are I. And so this would be a first person example. He likes to tell jokes that make everybody laugh. He is a third person pronoun, so this answer would be third person. Mike took his book to the library to renew it for 1 more week. So his is here, it is here, so those would be third person pronouns. My grandma is coming to visit and I can't wait to see her. So you have my and I in the sentence. You also have the pronoun her. I'm going to say this, but I'm not going to go into great detail, that if there's first person pronouns, but there's also like a third person pronoun, like in this case, it's always going to be first person. Okay, so if there's a combination of the two, first person always wins. All right, so if there's first person and second person, it's always going to be first person. If there's first person and third person, it's always going to be first person. Okay, so we'll get into that a little bit more next week, but I just want to make it clear that although there is a third person pronoun, first person kind of wins out. So this would be a first person example. And number 5, you have to be very quiet so you don't scare away the rabbit. So you and you, So that would be a second person example. We'll do one more set. Maggie bit her lip. No use crying about it. She pulled her math homework out of the sink and just stared at her little sister. So you have it, you have she, you have her. So this would be third person. Toward the castle she fled. She begged the gatekeeper for entrance. He was as deaf as a gargoyle. He did not hear her cries. Past the stone walls she scurried, the hounds in pursuit. So you have she, you have he again, you have her. Those are all third person pronouns. And yesterday was not the best day to be living at our house. The dog ate all the cereal. My bike had a flat tire, so I had to walk with my sister Trish. Then I found out the hot water heater had burned out and I planned to take a shower. So again, you're going to see I, and my. So those are all considered first person pronouns. Okay? So now that you guys are done, hopefully this again was a pretty solid review for you. You are going to go back to Schoology and do your ed puzzle. And then you have a pronouns practice, a point of view practice activity to complete. Please note that inside your folder today, there's also a study guide, a point of view 1, 2, 3 study guide that will be helpful to you for your practice activity today, especially for number 12. So if you're stuck on number 12 in your practice, revert back or go back and look at that resource that I put in your folder today, and that should help. Okay? All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day. Again, I'll be home later this afternoon, so if you need anything, just let me know. Okay? Talk to you guys later.